Welcome to Honeybee Yoga Studio, where we offer yoga classes for all levels and share yoga knowledge, so if that's something you're into, please subscribe below. Today is our first Firestarter flow, where we will stretch and build heat through our core and build up to our peak posture, which today is bound half moon. This flow is accessible to all levels. Please consider grabbing a brick or thick book from around the house and a strap or belt to support our bodies as we need to during our practice. We'll begin our practice together on our knees in a kneeling position. Let our sit bones come and rest above our heels. And let's start with an active breath, expanding our chest on the inhale, tucking our chin, getting small on that exhale. Making these movements as organic and as exaggerated as feels good for your body. Couple more breaths here, inhaling, feeling that chest and our heart expand, exhaling, feeling that chin tuck, our spine extend. Let's let our right hand come to the earth, left hand lifts as we side bend to the right side. Bring that gaze up towards the ceiling, feel our shoulders stack. Bring that left hand to the earth and we'll walk our hands to the opposite side. That left hand presses, right arm lifts as we come into a side bend to the left side. Another big breath here before those hands walk forward. Let's come tall, shimmy those sit bones to the earth, bend our knees in front of us. While keeping our chest lifted, we'll start to tilt back, feeling our feet come off of the earth. Balancing here, let's inhale our fingertips tall, feel our core engage. We're going to move through rowing our boat a few times, exhaling our fingertips to the right, inhaling tall, exhaling to the left. Let's do this a few more times on either side. Inhaling tall and then exhaling to either side. Maybe those toes lengthen and we have long legs. Let's do it one more time on each side, a big row of our boat. Then let's hold in our boat with long legs for a breath or two. Keeping that balance wherever we are, and then let's exhale to hover our legs, reach those fingertips forward in a hollow back canoe. Coming tall, we'll bring our feet to the earth, chin tucks, and let's rest for just a breath here. Let's roll our head from side to side, give that neck a nice little massage. And then we'll begin to roll over those knees, coming through tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's extend that right leg to the right side like a kickstand. Inhale our fingertips tall, and then we'll exhale to the right side, keeping both of our hands reaching to the right side, feeling that core, eventually sweeping our hands forward, all the way to the left side until that left hand presses into the earth and our right hand reaches away. Long line from those right fingertips to our toes, which will lift from the earth and balance here in this lowered half moon. Holding here for a breath, maybe we reach our hand behind us, bend at our knee, connect our foot to our hand. Binding our hand and foot together, we press them together. Our chest opens in front of us. Open shoulders. We'll release our hand and our foot. We'll eventually bring our hands back to the earth. We'll bring that right knee beside its left partner, and then we'll move to the opposite side. Extending that left leg long, we'll inhale our fingertips tall, and this time exhale to the left side. Once again, using our core to keep us lifted. Big opening through our sides. Eventually, we'll begin to sweep our hands forward, coming all the way around to the opposite side, feeling our right hand come into the earth, left hand lifts. Staying here for a breath to gain our balance, and eventually that left foot will reach off of the ground, coming into this lowered half moon. We can hang out here, or if we're going towards the bind, we can bend into our knee, reach that hand behind us, connect our foot to our hand. Pressing that foot into our hand, we feel our chest open, that hip moving forward, staying stacked above its partner. Let's take one more big breath here before we release that hand to foot connection. Eventually, our foot makes its way back to the earth, followed by our hands. Coming through tabletop, we'll tuck our toes and lift our knees. Moving through downwards facing dog, we'll lift that left foot up to the sky and then step it forward. Keeping a generous bend in our knee, we'll lift our hands tall into our tall lunge. Let's let that left hand come to our low spine. That right hand comes towards the nape of our neck as we invite our cow-faced arms. If those hands don't connect, no worries. We're just feeling the opening through our shoulders, our chest. We'll start to bring a little bounce into that back right foot, and we'll eventually start to shift our weight forward, lift that back right foot, and we'll hang out in our version of Warrior 3 for a couple breaths. Feel that glute, our hamstrings, before releasing our foot back to the earth. Release those arms. Let them come back to the inside of that left foot before we step it behind us. Take a little shimmy, little shake, and then we'll reach our right foot up to the sky and then step it forward, keeping that bend as we lift our fingertips tall. This time releasing our right hand to come to our low spine, left hand to come to the nape of our neck, and again we'll inchworm them towards each other. If they're too far away, maybe we use our strap to connect them. Otherwise, let's start to bring a bounce into that left foot as our weight shifts forward. Eventually, that left leg parallels the earth, our spine parallels the earth as we balance for a breath or two in Warrior 3. On our next exhale, we'll release our foot back to the ground as well as our arms. Bring those hands to the inside of that right foot and step through our tall plank. Let's release to one forearm followed by the opposite. Lengthen both arms coming tall. We'll do that one more time, moving down through our low plank, our forearm plank, before lifting back up to our tall plank. Let's bring our knees to the earth, send our hips behind us, and come into our version of a narrow child's. Taking a pause here, catching our breath. After our next exhale, we'll start to slowly lift tall, crown of our head towards the sky, preparing to come into our version of camel, grabbing our blocks if we're there for some help. Let's lift our fingertips up to the sky and then release our right hand to maybe our sits bones, our calf, our heel. And then let's start to sweep our hands forward, bringing our left hand to our heel, our calf, our sit bones. And we'll continue to kind of move from our right side to our left to our right in this sweeping motion. Letting our sit bones come back to our heels as far as feels good for us. Having as generous of a back bend as feels good. And then eventually we'll come to stillness with both hands reaching behind us in whatever variation feels good for us. Pressing our hips forward, feeling those shoulders open. And then let's release those arms, coming through seated. Bring our hands forward, lifting through plank. We'll walk our feet forward and relax into a forward fold. Wide legs, let that head hang heavy. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths as we prepare to go into our version of half moon. So if you'd like to grab a brick, I know I certainly do, helps that earth come a little bit closer to our hands. I'm going to place my brick about 2 hands distances in front of my left foot. I'm going to start on my left side so I can see that brick is just far enough away from me. I feel nice and comfortable. Let's start by lifting into a halfway lift, exhaling to fold forwards. Lifting once again, let's place that left hand on our brick. Reach our right leg to parallel the earth, and then let's peel that right hand up to the sky. Take as much time as you need to work out any wiggles, any wobbles. Feel those hips stack, those shoulders stack. And if it's for you, we'll bend at the knee, reach our right hand behind us, and go for the bind. Keeping our gaze on something not moving. And then eventually releasing our hand and our foot, having us come back into our forward fold. Take any shimmies, any shakes, and we'll move to the opposite side. So that brick comes underneath our right hand. We'll feel our left leg parallel the earth. We'll start to feel our left hand peel open, reaching up towards the sky. We feel those shoulders stack one above each other, our hips stack. And then again, if it's for us, we're bending at the knee, reaching behind us and approaching the bind. If you really want to challenge your balance, maybe that gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Maybe you remove the block. Whatever's working for you today, just feel great that you've made it all the way this far. And then eventually we'll release our hand to foot. We'll bring that foot back to the earth. We'll enjoy a forward fold. Let's lift into our halfway lift. And then we'll melt forward and eventually unwind our spine all the way to standing tall. And let's close our practice with a big breath together. A big inhale and exhale. Awesome work. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you enjoyed yourself, please let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Check us out at honeybeeyogastudio.ca and we'll see you next time.